the league, which was honestly a slap in the face. And I think we really have to put an emphasis on the players that are in our league right now. But I love to see the league growing. I think, adding these teams in Philly and Detroit, like, that's how amazing is that the league can grow. But how cool would it also be to have like a little bit expansion on the rosters? Like, let's focus on the teams that have everything set up right now, and maybe focus on the teams also that find excuses continuously to lack investment into their players.
WNBA players reject first CBA offer. 3 months ago, Kat Engelbert claimed to be optimistic about ongoing negotiations. I guess all that optimism has suddenly disappeared. Now, to be fair, this is not unusual. It's not unusual to see players reject the first offer they receive. But like I've told you guys before, this is going to be a tough negotiation for Kat Engelbert.
Is the WNBA going to end soon? The players just said no to a new pact. The league is developing swiftly, and Caitlin Clark's back is suffering from carrying it. Let's speak about why the 2026 season might not materialize, and who is genuinely to blame.
Kat Engelbert, I'm sure she thought that everyone was going to be thrilled with the expansion of the WNBA. I'm sure she thought the cities of Cleveland, Philadelphia, Detroit would be throwing parades welcoming unknown dump divers to their city. I'm sure she thought WNBA players would be doing something that they have never done before, not complaining. I'm sure the dump diva thought, the players have been demanding more money, so I got the perfect solution. We'll open 3 new dumps, which will give players the opportunity to play more games. That way, they'll almost be above the poverty line. This idea is great.
So, let's speak about what kicked things off. The WNBA gave the players' union a proposal, which was their initial offer for the next collective bargaining agreement. Doesn't that sound normal? But Sato Sabali, a star for the Phoenix Mercury, didn't hold back. She said it was like a hit in the face. Now, let's be honest. That's more than merely fury. That's fire. That's players feeling embarrassed, feeling abandoned. And now bear in mind this offer came just after the league gleefully announced additional clubs in Philly, Detroit, and the Bay Area. The WNBA was celebrating. Players not so much. Sabali's words weren't solely about money. She made it apparent players want greater roster places, improved facilities, and significant investment in present clubs. She's not wrong. A handful of clubs are still running on 10-day contracts, hardship deals, and packed benches. And now we're introducing 3 new teams. So the question is this: is the league expanding too swiftly without taking care of its foundation? Or are players biting the hand that's finally feeding them? Want to discover how risky the scenario is? Look at what transpired to Major League Baseball in 1994. The season was going wonderfully. Fans were elated. Teams were competitive. Then bang, labor strike. The postseason was canceled. No World Series. Just silent. And fans were upset. It took baseball years to recover, and only because of a steroid-fueled home run race between McGwire and Sosa. Now imagine that happening to the WNBA. Except here's the problem. Baseball has 100 years of history, generations of fans, emotional attachment. The WNBA, it's not there yet. Let's be honest, it's only starting to build momentum. And much of that is predicated on one woman, Caitlin Clark. If the WNBA goes on strike, there's no guarantee the audience comes back, no guarantee networks remain around, and no previous history to rely back on. The league can't afford a miscalculation of this size. The stakes are that high. So, what happens if both sides dig in? This might be a hot take, but it's true. The WNBA isn't expanding because of the league. It's rising because of Caitlin Clark. Her games are packed. Her jersey's sold out. She's the reason ESPN wants to spend more. That's not disrespect. That's reality. But here's what makes it fragile. All of this may gone in a second. If Clark gets hurt, if she decides to leave for Europe or Unrivaled, if she gets weary of taking hits every game and not being protected, that entire momentum evaporates immediately. It's like raising a skyscraper on one steel beam. Looks strong until it doesn't. The boys think they have leverage today, and maybe they do, but most of that leverage comes from one lady. And that's perilous because if Clark steps, the whole deck of cards comes down. Is it fair number? Is it true? Absolutely. Here's the deal. The players aren't merely moaning for fun. They're coming up to media days and reading statements. Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Carlson went public. We're fighting for a fair amount of the business we established, and that's a good argument. The league is expanding. Attendance is growing. Ratings are up. There's a new media deal on the way. So why not be paid? But here's the opposing side. The WNBA still isn't profitable ever. In its almost 30-year history, it's never turned a profit. So, when players cry for million-dollar salary and state-of-the-art facilities, where's that money expected to come from? It's a harsh reality. Are players undervalued? Definitely. Are they the reason the league has value? Yes. But if the firm can't fund what they're asking, are their expectations truly realistic? Let's not forget 80% of the players will be free agents next year. That's a lot of leverage. But leverage only works if the foundation can sustain the weight, can it? So, what did the WNBA offer? We don't have official figures, but rumors suggest the league gave roughly $500,000 to $750,000 for top salary, which for a league where the limit was formerly $250,000 is a substantial raise. That's triple the current highest contract. But players evidently want more. Some are eyeing $1 million plus basic salaries. Some even seek superstar money, $2 million or more. But here's the thing. The league raked in little over $60 million last year. That's less than a single mid-tier NBA team's apparel sales. You do the math. If everyone's making $1 million, the league falls bankrupt quickly. So now the problem is, are the players seeking what's fair or are they gambling with the entire future of the WNBA? Caitlin Clark had another mic drop problem this week. She pointed out that players get more money winning the Commissioner Cup, a glorified mid-season tournament, than they do for winning the genuine WNBA title. Let it soak in. You win the whole league, you get $11,356. Win a side cup competition, you get $30,000. That's like getting paid more for winning a lottery than an Olympic gold medal. Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's calling out the system. And she's accurate. If you want players to take the league seriously, start by showing you respect its major reward. If that's broken, what else is? 3 new teams. That suggests 3 extra cities, 45 more players, more coaches, personnel, venues, travel expenses, and oh yeah, charter flights for everybody now. Sounds like progress, right? Except we still have teams battling with practice gyms and locker rooms. We still have players staying in second-class lodgings. We still have clubs who can't even promise minutes for healthy, quality players because their rosters are so small. The WNBA added 12 games to the season in only 4 years. It aims to go to 50 or 60 games. Are gamers ready for that? Is the infrastructure? This isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. And if you take off too quickly, you might blow your knees out before you reach the finish line. Let's not forget anything very vital here. WNBA athletes don't genuinely need the WNBA to live. That's not an exaggeration. That's a fact. A lot of these athletes are already generating more money overseas than they do right here at home. We're talking about locations like Turkey, Russia, Italy, and China, where these players enjoy not just bigger income but better perks. First-class travel, full-season housing, high-end practice facilities, even security escorts in select places. Overseas teams threw out the red carpet for these women. Now add another depth to this narrative. Unrivaled. An entirely new league. Player-backed, media-savvy, and totally engineered to disrupt the establishment. It delivers shorter seasons, higher money, less politics, and more creative freedoms. For elite players, it's like Netflix recommending, hey, avoid the Hollywood studios. Come directly to us, and we'll offer you top money. So here's the reality. If this new CBA collapses, going away from the WNBA isn't just a bluff. It's a genuine strategic prospect. And it's already occurring on a tiny scale. Players are testing other leagues. They're conversing. They're watching. Let's get honest. Not every WNBA player is worth $1 million. That's just the truth. Caitlin Clark valued $10 million. Easy. Sabrina Ionescu. A Wilson. Maybe a couple more. Sure. But most players in the league are not household names. They're not selling out venues. They're not garnering millions of viewers. So what's fair? Max salary at $600,000 to $750,000. Sounds solid. Rookie contracts around $150,000 to $200,000. Reasonable. Bonuses for postseason wins, MVPs, or all WNBA clubs. That's how you reward performance. But if players are thinking they're about to be millionaires across the board, that's a lie. At least for now, the league has to flourish before it can reward everyone. That's simple business. Otherwise, it's a wrap. The clock is ticking. The WNBA needs a new CBA. The gamers demand real money. The league pursues expansion. The supporters, they just want the games to keep on. But here's the risk. If neither party budges, the 2026 season may be canceled. That's not drama. That's reality. And if that occurs, everything Caitlin Clark built this year gets wiped away. No games, no growth, no future. We've seen it happen before. And the WNBA doesn't have MLB's history or fan base to soften the blow. This might be the most critical negotiation in league history. So what do you think? Are the gamers right to press for more? Or are they set to murder the golden goose? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and don't forget the future of the WNBA might just be hanging on a thread.